But the regret comes if you've done something that is not your choice. If other people make the choices for you, you might end up regretting that one because why did I even, listen to this person? I should have. You wasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of that one because you did not choose it. Other people chose it for you.
The glitz and glam is the fame, but it's the work backstage that makes the game. I'm Crystel and Levay Bandal, your host. Come with me behind the lens and watch their stories unfold. As you can see from the garments behind me, it's probably the biggest hint of our next guest here today. He's very well known in the Filipino-Australian community for producing many successful events, not just for our local artists, but also for international artists. Please welcome to the show, Behind the Lens, Charles Chan. Let's say that there's no COVID or anything. Let's talk about future ahead, like in 5 years' time. What are some of your projects that you hope to work on?
No, what I want after 5 years' time is to retire. Another 5, that's 15 years, that's more than enough for my life. With that one, I don't know. The projects, more probably into international stars.
Do you really enjoy doing those, even though it's
really challenging because of the way they do the shows overseas, and that's against how we want them to do the shows here. The local artists, it's also another thing that we want to do, because the local artists has always been the group where we're always sort of like, oh yeah, they're just there for the front acts. They're not. Yes, they are in the sense that by the technical word, they are front acts for the major artists. But these people, these artists, these singers, these instrument, the people that plays various instruments, they work very hard, as much as probably the main act as well. They work hard, but they're not given enough focus here in Sydney in particular. So I wonder, like in 5 years' time, we'll have, or between now and the end of 5 years, that we will have specifically local artists having their own concert, having their own show, and it's being patronized by the community. That's for me it's gonna be a dream come true if we're gonna be involved in that one. Because when the artist sings, someone got like, oh my God, if you have your concert, I'll buy a ticket. There's a lot of them are like that. So yeah. So in another 5 years, I hope that we can still do the Mardi Gras, but then after 5 years, I don't know what we're going to do. Obviously, we still wanted to be involved with the community events.
And would you, let's say that you've chosen someone to take over since you want to retire in 5 years, would you consistently take part?
I'll be happy to be just a mentor. So they can come to me and just ask me for my ideas, my thoughts, my suggestions. But it's up to them to sort of like carry it. This is my idea.
It's up to you if you take it.
It's up to you to carry on and do it. But I'll support whatever you decide. I'll support for sure.
What would you say is probably the most important lesson you would give them? Like the most important advice?
My advice for these people is own the job. In the sense that when you were given a task, own it. Because if you're gonna go do wishy-washy job, you're not owning the job. Rubbish in, rubbish out. You will see that one. It will very, very much evidential that if you don't focus, you don't sort of like 100% with your hearts and mind into that one. You're not owning the job. You're not owning the task. Definitely, it's not gonna be. For me as well as an individual. I'm a perfectionist in some ways as well too. So if I'm not happy, so after the show, even though like everybody is already sighing relief, oh good, we've done that one. But sometimes I've done this one before. Why am I still making mistakes? That sort of thing. That makes me unhappy because I thought like I did not do my job. Although people don't know it, some people probably would do, but majority of the people don't know it. So that's the only thing that I will tell whoever's going to be following our footsteps, that when you're given the task, love it, own it, and be faithful to it, and then you'll see the results. You'll be happy at the end of the event, the end of the show, the end of the function. You will say, yes, I've done my part to make it happen, to make it a success.
Is that something that you focus on all the time?
You have to. You have to. There's one that I wasn't focused for some reason, because I was given a task I didn't know how to do, and I go like, oh gosh, I was very unhappy because I think that I did not contribute to the best of my ability. But that's a lesson I have to learn, that I've learned for the second time. If it happens, then I know what to do.
How did you cope with that, feeling like you didn't contribute enough?
Very bad feeling, I guess. If I could turn back time, like they always say, you can turn back time, I'll do it again, but prepare for it. I guess my preparation was lacking somehow, but but then again, it's lacking somehow. But then again, with that experience, you carry that one and you grow. Because if there's bad experience or there's a bad thing that have happened and you don't pay attention, you don't take it to heart, you don't sort of like acknowledge that there's a mistake, then it's just going to be a waste of time doing something else, and it's going to be the same mistakes again. You fall, you go up, and you acknowledge that there's a mistake, and I think that's the worst part for some people. They can't acknowledge their mistake. For them, I've done everything perfectly.
And then you'll change.
And it's your problem, not my problem. But if you own that mistake, you stand up and say, that's my mistake, I'm sorry.
And then let's go for it. Then you grow. Because from the mistakes, and you acknowledge that there's a mistake, but also you need to sort of like say, how can I prevent that mistake ever happening again? That's the growth. That's the growth that you should be able to sort of like say, yes, I know that one, and now here, based on that thing that happened in the past, this is what I've delivered, and I think it's a good improvement.
And kind of like when you said some people can't own their mistakes, why do you think that's the reason?
I don't know, maybe that's their, I guess that their personality, ego gets the better of them. That's the reason why they can't acknowledge that when they blame other people. Look, it's all different. I really can only speculate why they couldn't. But at the end of the day, it's your life, your way of dealing with mistakes, and your way of like how you're going to improve life. Your personal life, not mine.
That's true. So let's ask you this question, because you brought it up before. If you could turn back in time, what would you change, and how would you change?
Okay, I guess if I could turn back time, I would probably, study it more. Like, I guess some of the things that have been thrown at in front of me are like, oh yeah, I've seen that one, I've done that one, I'll be able to wing it. That was the attitude before, if it's very simple. But I guess if I could turn back time, I'll get more involved, I'll ask more questions, I guess, and I'll prepare more in the sense that I'll research, I'll speak to a lot of people, I'll listen to advice, and and then I guess that's probably what I'll do. That's probably me, because I am an open book.
Yeah.
If people could sort of like give me a direction, give me suggestion that could make it better, then I will do it. My character or my personality is that this is my set things. If you can disprove to me, or if you can tell me that what I'm thinking is much better, I'll embrace that one without a problem. But if I can't see any benefits, or if I can see that it's not right, I'll stay with what I get. Stubborn in a way, but then again, if I was stubborn in the way because I've seen it happen before, I can see where it's going, kind of thing, and that's the reason why I would stick to it. But then again, like I said, I'm an open book. Leave it, and I will grab it if I really need it.
And what would you say you're really excited about the future?
retirement.
What excites you about it?
Oh, I don't have to sort of like worry a lot. I can just be doing my other interest, which is traveling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you
Right.
travel a lot?
Well, I've
With-
traveled into 22 different countries now in my lifetime.
Wow.
Visited more than 40 cities, I guess.
Wow.
So I've seen a lot in my lifetime. I'd like to see more. So that's the whole point.
How come? What about traveling?
I like to see nature, as it comes. We do have a lot of here in Australia, so Australia is also something that I'd like to travel
And explore.
and explore. But my attraction overseas is because it's a faraway place.
Mm.
The way nature has developed, the people,
Mm.
the language, the culture, the history of the nation, the architecture, that kind of thing that really excites me. Yeah, things going in the past, like say for example archaeological sites. I went to Egypt, I went to Peru, and see how the remnants from the 10,000, 5,000 years ago, how it survived us. Really, for me, it's amazing.
And you just want to be out there exploring it and learning more.
In my little own way, yes, I do.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Make sure you share it with us.
You can come with me.
I would love to, because traveling the world is probably something that a lot of people would want to do.
Yeah, but you need a lot of money too.
That's true.
That's why I wanted to retire, so I get my super. I can just sort of like go, leave the super and some that earns a little bit of interest, and then use that interest to sort of like travel around.
Yeah, wow. Well, there you go. And it's everything that you do really involves people. Like the community work, the radio, you're always involved with working with people and like communicating with them. It seems like from a shy place, you're very out there into communicating with everyone.
I
Why
guess
is
it's
that? What do you...
I don't know, maybe that's just my real personality just developed from my younger age. It's just that I got exposed somehow, and I wasn't afraid to take the challenge. There are times that I still say, no, I'm embarrassed, I'm shy, that's okay. I still get that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm doing that one, that means I'm not confident doing things, and I'd prefer that other people who have been there and done that one to do it. But then again, sometimes you can't escape. You really have to. Public speaking is something that I have also tried to avoid many times, and even up to now, I don't like really public speaking. If
Really?
if we're just like in a little group where I could express my thoughts, my inner feelings and stuff.
But you also host events, don't you?
Yeah, but that I need to do. I push myself to that one. But
How do you...
hosting events, being the compare of like a wedding or something like that I push myself. I do lots of research. I talk to the people that's gonna get married. How did you get that? So, and then get to know the families and stuff. So doing a lot of research and then preparing them. What am I gonna say here? How can I interject a joke or something like that? So there's a lot of things going on in the background in order for me to become an effective MC or an effective host in our Mardi Gras. It's sort of like, okay, I'll see the script. What do we say? Sometimes the script's already there. You just have to read it, or you're just gonna have to memorize it and deliver. But for some, like say for example, being the junior vice president of a large organization, I really don't like to speak in front of the public.
Really?
I make it very short and simple, and like closing remark.
I would have never thought that.
Yes. Closing remark. I said like, okay, 2-3 minutes. That's all that they want. So like, I'm just gonna say, I don't want to keep you guys. I just want to say thank you for coming. It's been another successful year. And good night.
What?
I've never had a keynote speech or something. I'd stay away from that.
If you're hesitant to do it or you don't want to do it, why do you push yourself to do it? And when you go up there, because that's like when my mom and I met you, we're just like, he's so good at it. And now you're telling me that you don't like doing it. It doesn't make sense in my head. Like
in front of important people, dignitaries and stuff, it's probably because that wasn't my training. I wasn't trained to speak publicly that way. I can speak in public somehow, but on a very smaller scale, I guess. not in a huge event where you have to talk with 200, 300 people and there's like a few dignitaries in front. It scares me. It really does.
What about it scares you?
Because of the speech. What am I going to say that these people would understand? You know, I know I can do it. It's just that there's no, I guess, not enough opportunities to do it. And if I can see other people have done that one before, just pick her, pick him. don't look at me. Just let them do it.
Wow, that's very shocking to me actually. But even when you're told to host, you just go out there and do it. Because like you said before, when you're given a work, you push yourself hard to make it.
Yeah, I just don't like sometimes that you've only got one day and they say, oh, can you host on the weekend, huh? And I've got work that I have to do for studies and stuff, and then I'm gonna have to sort of like, but where's the script or where's the program? So who are attending? So you need to sort of like, because you don't want to make a fool. Like, so say for example, like a dignitary will be there. You need to know about the background of that person.
Yeah.
What, like say for example, a government minister. So what portfolio is he given at this current stage? Who is the people that he represents?
You're
That
thinking
kind
of a lot of
thing.
things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. To thank them is different, but to know who they are and not to mix them with other people it's very challenging.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Very much. Enough pressure to lose my hair.
You keep talking about losing your hair.
I lost my hair because I'm stressed.
So let's say what would you say is probably your biggest life advice for the rest of us who are trying to, because it seems like with everything that you've done, you kind of just go with the flow and you do it to the best of your ability. What would you say is your advice to people to be able to do that as well?
Know what you want, first of all. What do you want to do? Okay, you want it to be both here and that. And I guess people do have the choices. Maybe this is my first choice, second choice, third choice, but you need to have choices. And with those choices, you need really to sort of like, the choices that you make is you make sure that when you choose one, you focus 100%. Focus on 100% and you'll be happy. As it goes, is this really what you want? You're still happy, then continue on. While that is happening, maybe you can also, now that you're already determined to finish the job doing the first choice that you want, then maybe you can do the second choice. Oh, I can still do this one and do these things, because that's your personal development. Okay? Know what you want. When you selected what you want, be faithful to it. Do the best that you can do. Anything that you can sort of like do to achieve that one. You study, you listen for advices, you travel, you experiment with things. That's just part of it.
Would you say that's the best way to avoid regretting?
Yes, in a way that you, but regretting is that sort of like you're doing something that you're not happy 100%. Because other people are just pushed to do this one because mom, dad wants you to do this one. Listen to Jokoy, he'll tell you about the Filipinos wanted to be just nurses because that's what we're good for. But no, the regret comes if you've done something that is not your choice. If other people make the choices for you, you might end up regretting that one because why did I even, listen to this person? I should have, you've wasted 2, 3, 4, 5 years of that one because you did not choose it. Other people chose it for you. So when you make choices, you make sure that it's very light in your heart. That I'm happy to do it. Then do it. But if you're being dictated or just people are pushing you around, oh, you're good at it, you might end up. I'm not saying that you will regret it, but there's a good chance you will, and then you would have wasted something.
That's true. I really like the values and principles that you were talking about before. It's very helpful, not just in, let's say, the entertainment or the community work that you're doing, but also applicable in everything.
Can I tell you why? It goes with age. Yeah, wisdom comes with age, and I think I'm on that bandwagon wherein, like, with all the things that I've experienced in life, I'll be able to impart a few things from what I have experienced. So, yeah.
That's true. And I think it's, aside from age, it's also you have a great level of self-awareness, that you know where you go wrong and you know when to take in somebody else's feedback to improve yourself.
Yes.
And being pushed to like perform with people that you see as higher than you, and to even try to push yourself to perform at the same level or close to the same level, I would say not many people would want to do that, because it would be too terrifying.
It is terrifying. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you don't want to be the fool in the group. So you're gonna have to work hard, to match up with the level where they are.
Because that's your reputation.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, in a sense, yeah, your reputation is right there. But then again, your reputation for overcoming what you really are least expected to do, that's how you would appreciate yourself more, and that would show to the people that you're performing in front. They will see that one as well too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the interview today. I think what I'll do is, because you said that you like to do closing remarks, really quickly, I'll get you to do the closing remarks for Behind the Lens today.
No, but look, thank you for the opportunity. I wasn't expecting this one, though. We've spoken about this one months ago and that sort of thing. I kind of like, almost forgotten about this one. But thank you for the opportunity to be able to share my life experience, the work that I do for the community, and what we wanted to do somehow. So hopefully, through this interview, some people that the people that will be watching it, your followers, will be able to pick up a few things here and there, so that if somebody wants to do stage production like what we're doing at the moment, we'll be able to sort of like do a research, call us or something like that. More than happy to sort of like be able to be a mentor and give few advices.
I'm sure it'll help a lot of people, because
So.
you've done a lot, and the fact that you do it to the best of your ability and it comes from here means a lot, because then that's the only way you're going to really be able to help someone. Well, you hear it here first. If you want to be mentored, and
So that I'm now, like, before I'm always being mentored. Now I can sort of like do the mentoring somehow, because you've reached that point where you've gathered a lot of moss, and you'll be able to spread it around to other people that would require your what's in there and what's down there too.
Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. And I hope you guys learned from him as much as I did. There's definitely a lot for me to learn from you.
Thank you, Crystel.
Who makes you smile when you are down? Who holds your hand when you can't stand up? Education, rounds and observation, checks your BP, pulse and dress your wounds. Day after day, night and day, we are here to help you. We know that sometimes you just want someone to talk to. No one understands you more than we do. We are here for you until you're good. If you break your bones, we'll nurse it better. Bump your head, we'll ease the pain. If you are scared, don't be, 'cause we're your friends. We smile though you don't know we haven't slept, and we are tired and all. We do these things so you get well, and you won't hear us complain. That's what it takes to be a nurse. Putting others first, we make a difference. imagine life without a nurse. You know, to be a nurse is like no other. You have to be compassionate and true. Nursing isn't just a job. A nurse will do things out of love. Helping others really makes it all worthwhile. If you break your bones, we'll nurse it better. Bump your head, we'll ease the pain. If you are scared, don't be, 'cause we're your friends. We smile though you don't know. We haven't slept and we are tired and all. We do these things so you get well and you won't hear us complain. And that's what it takes to be a nurse. Putting others first, we make a difference. Can you imagine life without a nurse? La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
There's a lot for me to learn from Charles, just from sitting and chatting with him today for a very good length of time. I learned not just from the work that I knew him by, but also the behind the scenes of what it takes to make it successful, but also how he's able to bring himself together, doing so many things at once, because I know him very well as someone who does community work, and he's also able to celebrate it in a way that he's able to acknowledge parts of his culture in the Australian community. And I really learned to appreciate the culture through the fashion, how the things that we celebrate over here in Australia. Even though that we are here in Australia and we live the Australian lifestyle, it's important for us to continue appreciating that side of our identity. It's still part of us that we hold very close to our hearts, and I hope that it's something you guys learn from this interview as well.